that Ethiopians should keep their national unity in order to strengthen and continue the achievements of the reform. The Premier made the remark at the event organized to raise funds for the Oromia Development Association. On the occasion, Akinuami Adesina, president of the African Development Bank, said the bank has been investing millions of dollars in Ethiopia to build infrastructures that create regional trade linkage. Emmanuel Jorge tells us more.
A closing ceremony of annual conference of Oromia Development Association is held in Unity Park in presence of higher government officials, including Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, President Sahle-Work Zewde, and President of African Development Bank Akinwumi Adesina. In his opening remark in the closing ceremony, the Prime Minister said, by changing challenges into opportunities, Ethiopians have the capability to go forward in strengthening their unity.
We have been fighting with each other for many years. All that is enough. What we want now is peace and development. We will know separation and fighting for freedom. And above all, we have mastered how to get a victory. Now, what is expected from us is to keep our victory and manage it. To do so, I know that you have the capability and the morale to pass all challenges through standing together, and we will be an example for Africa.
President Sahle-Work Zewde also highlighted Ethiopians should preserve their integrity and stand in unison to realize the prosperous and great Ethiopia.
We all know that development is the only way to take Ethiopia to the eminence we want. We all have to stand together as one to grow this Ethiopia. While I congratulate you on this day and ceremony, I would like to tell you to work hard to develop our Ethiopia wherever you are from. Ethiopia, which our partners who support and come to visit our shared projects know very well, is the dignified great Ethiopia. We all together should keep Ethiopia in the previous eminence. Even we have to make our country better than that. I'm hopeful and confident in you all.
Wondering the unity and uniqueness of Ethiopia, the president of African Development Bank, for his part, pointed out that the African Development Bank invested $1.7 billion in Ethiopia in agriculture and industrial sectors.
Ethiopia is special when it comes to Africa. And there's a reason why the African Union is actually based here, because this is the place where unity happens. The African Development Bank has invested in this country $1.7 billion, and we are proud of it. And it goes into areas such as agriculture. I want to thank the Prime Minister and praise the government for what you're doing in agricultural transformation in terms of the integrated industrial parks that you have all over the country.
Expressing his love and gratitude to Ethiopia and its government, he added that the bank is also spending millions of dollars in building infrastructures that creates a regional trade linkage and other areas.
We've invested here to help to build the 1,000-kilometer road that links Addis Ababa all the way to Nairobi, all the way to Mombasa, that will increase trade by 500%. I love Ethiopia. I love the people here. And I want to use the opportunity to thank His Excellency the Prime Minister for the tremendous support of the government of Ethiopia to the African Development Bank, both in terms of the capital of the bank, and also, of course, for my own re-election when I was elected as president of the bank.
The president visited Adama Industrial Park with Industrial Parks Development Corporation CEO Sandokan Dabebe and other high-level government officials on Friday this week.
Meanwhile, President of the African Development Bank Group, Akinwumi Adesina, praised the development and transformation of Ethiopia. The president arrived in Ethiopia yesterday, where he met Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. He also visited projects being executed in Addis Ababa. I am delighted to visit Ethiopia and be with you, Prime Minister. I am amazed with the development and transformation of the country I'm proud of the $1.7 billion financing of the African Development Bank in Ethiopia. Thank you so much for your wonderful hospitality, Desina tweeted. To learn more about the extra implications of the surprise visit of African Development Bank President Dr. Kinuamia Desina, here we have political and international relations scholar Ndala Nuguse on the phone. Thank you for having you, Mr. Ndala.
Yes, thank you.
As you know it better, having a visit of the African Development Bank President at this critical time can be understood in different dimensions, because Ethiopia is now being challenged by sanctions from influential countries. What does this high-ranking official visit to Ethiopia imply, as it has happened in this critical time?
Thank you for your invitation to share my opinion about the Dr. Akin's visit in Ethiopia, who is the president of the African Development Bank. As we all know, US and some Western countries have attempted to impose sanctions and some restrictions on Ethiopia. But in my opinion, they might not have concrete evidence to influence Ethiopia. It may derive from the wrong perceptions. But Ethiopia has a long history in diplomatic relations to US and Western countries, and we are strong partners for these countries in various issues. Nowadays, it is important to adjust the focal lenses of Ethiopian foreign policy towards Africa and East Asian countries, including Russia and China. From this point of view, the Dr. Akin's Adesina's visit in Ethiopia has a long advantage to Ethiopia. First, it strengthens the relationship between the Ethiopian government and the African Development Bank. Second, it creates opportunities to obtain additional finance and various concessionary aid for public and private investors or projects. Third, it also gives opportunities to solve African problems by the Africans and African institutions. And finally, it may reduce our dependency on World Bank and different cases. Thank you.
Mr. Ndala Nuguse, thank you for your time. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Office of the Prime Minister Thursday announced that Ethiopia is under an orchestrated attack from belligerent groups in and outside to dismantle government order. In a joint press briefing the office gave with the Federal Attorney General, Press Secretary Bilene Suyum pointed out that organized campaigns against the government have played their part to baffle the international community. Attorney General Gideon Timotheus, for his part, disclosed that more than 50 Ethiopian soldiers who are allegedly involved in sexual violence and human rights violations have been apprehended. With more on this story. Office of the Prime Minister Thursday hosted a press briefing amidst continuous international pressures that emanated from the situation in the state of Tigray. In her remarks on the briefing, Press Secretary Bilene Suyum said her government is under attack.
Ethiopia is witnessing an orchestrated attack that is condescending in nature, often patronizing in tone, belligerent in approach, and destructive in outcome. It is disingenuous to hijack the suffering of ordinary citizens for other goals.
Bilene underlined that reproaching the government won't help the effort to rehabilitate Tigray.
Ethiopia has also shown readiness and an open will to positively and constructively engage with all partners, local and international. However, demonizing a sitting prime minister and chastising the government for reversing state collapse triggered by a criminal enterprise, instead of extending further support and reinforcement to rehabilitate the Tigray region, is unproductive and not constructive.
As widespread sexual violence allegations in the state of Tigray surfaced in international media, Attorney General Gideon Timotheus disclosed that the government has arrested more than 50 Ethiopian soldiers for alleged sexual violence and human rights violations.
The military police have conducted their own investigation, and so far they have pressed charges against 28 soldiers who have been suspected of killing civilians in situations where there are no military necessity. The trials of these suspects are underway, and the verdicts are expected to be handed down shortly. Furthermore, the military prosecutors have also pressed charges against 25 soldiers who have been suspected of committing acts of sexual violence and rape. The trials of these suspects are also underway. So far, there have been 4 convictions, and there are also several other investigations that are underway.
Gideon also said that the TPLF have caused massive human and material destructions. Regarding alleged mass killings in Maikadra and Aksum, the Attorney General had this to say.
The first report of major crimes and atrocities to emerge in the Tigray regional state concerned the killing of several hundreds of civilians in the town and around the town of Maikadra. The investigation team has ascertained that more than 200 individuals have been killed, and several victims have sustained severe and serious injuries. The investigation team has identified around 200 individuals who are believed to have taken part in the commission of these crimes. While most of the suspects are believed to have fled to Sudan, around 23 suspects have been apprehended, and charges have been pressed against the suspects at the Federal High Court, and their trial is already underway. Report of major crimes and atrocities concerned incidents in the city of Aksum. A federal investigation team composed of the federal police and federal prosecutors is currently investigating these incidents that have primarily taken place between the 19th and the 28th of November. This is still an ongoing investigation which we are trying to finalize, and these are our major findings so far.
The Attorney General also indicated that the more than 10,000 hardened criminals who were jailed in prisons of the city of Mekelle and later released by the retreating TPLF clique have also involved in the alleged sexual violence. Asked about the withdrawal of Eritrean troops from Tigray, Press Secretary Bilene Siyum confirmed that their withdrawal is already commenced. In a discussion held on Thursday between Djiboutian Foreign Minister Mohamed Ali Yusuf and the Ethiopian Ambassador to Djibouti, Birhanu Tsagay, the minister reiterated that his government attaches importance to its ties with Ethiopia. Foreign Minister Mohamed added Ethiopia and Djibouti have a strong relationship that set an example for other neighboring countries. Minister Mohamed affirmed his government's readiness to upscale the ties to a high gear in multifaceted arrays. Ambassador Birhanu shared updates on developments, giving particular emphasis to the situations in Tigray, the upcoming national elections, and the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Concerning the GERD, he noted that his government would ensure that the second round of water filling is carried out as per schedule and in accordance with provisions of the Declaration of Principles. He also commended the government of Djibouti for demonstrating its willingness in the joint efforts to transfer TPLF criminal factions to Ethiopia.
Hi, my name is Brooke Thomas Hafterend. I was born and raised in the UK. I do not like what the Egyptians are doing to Ethiopia. This is my dam.
It's my dam. It's my dam.
It's my dam.
It's my dam. It's my dam.
It is my dam.
It is my dam.
It's my dam. feel very proud that Ethiopia has gotten where she is now, because back in the days, obviously, Ethiopia didn't have many things. It was very a poor country, and now it's getting richer and richer because many more educated, smarter people are coming, and people are learning more things that Ethiopia is a very amazing country. We just have to figure it out, and we just have to show other countries that we can be better than America, better than
Ethiopian Minister of Water, Irrigation and Energy Sleshi Bekele and South Sudan's President Salva Kiir have discussed in Juba. Speaking to the media after the meeting, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Beatrice Kamisa-Wani, said Sleshi Bekele brought a special message from the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed to President Salva Kiir on various situations in Ethiopia, as well as the bilateral relations between the two sisterly countries. In his remarks, Sleshi Bekele said Ethiopia has no intention of harming any downstream country with the construction of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, apart from developing its own resources. He said the design of the dam proves that it will not harm any country in the Nile Basin. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is instrumental for strong regional power integrations. South Sudan's ambassador to Ethiopia, James Pichia Morgan, made the remark in an exclusive interview with ETV English. The issue of the Grand Renaissance Dam should only be solved by Africans alone, and resorting to other options can only imply other hidden agenda behind it, the ambassador has said. Shifara Lagos interviewed the ambassador and filed the following report.
Ethiopia has been consistent in its stance when it comes to the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. It says that it will build this huge dam to lift millions out of the poverty line. Now, in between the two nations is Sudan, which at first was supporting the construction of this huge mega dam, but later it changed its stance, and now it is siding with Egypt. Now, South Sudan is also one of the neighbors of Ethiopia, and I have interviewed the ambassador about the nation's stance on this mega project that Ethiopia is building, and I'm here in the compound of the embassy, and he told me that the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam has multifaceted benefits to Ethiopia, and the ambassador also told me that Ethiopia should press ahead with filling and building this Grand Renaissance Dam.
The benefits of the dam were anchored into its first reason which led to its construction. Ethiopia said it has got 65 million people living in darkness. And for that matter, they want to generate electricity. And that electricity, once generated, of course, Ethiopia will export it to the region. It will export it to the region. I think that was the real reason why Ethiopia wanted to make sure that this dam was built. And there's nothing new from what led to the construction of the dam. It was on the electricity, and once generated, Ethiopia intends to export it to the region.
He also told me that the issues of the three nations should be solved using the trilateral negotiation under the auspices of the African Union.
One thing that we need to mention here is the position of the three countries are different. Sudan was asking for the legal matters to be settled. Egypt was asking for technical matters to be settled. Now, these legal matters and the technical matters, what is technical and what is illegal? And if it is illegal, what is difficult to find the legal solutions? And if it is technical, what is difficult to find technical solutions? Because everything has got a solution. Legal issues, we have legal experts. In all Africa, including even the African Union, we have the legal council. The legal council of the African Union can sit together with the legal team of Sudan and Egypt and Ethiopia so that they look at the legal aspect which they are talking about. If it is technical, we have technical people in Africa here. In Egypt, we have technical people. In Ethiopia, we have technical people. In African Union, we have technical people. Why these people don't come together and look at the technical problems? There is a solution for every problem. If that is really the matter, there is nothing that we cannot find a solution for it.
In this episode, we'll be looking into the decorations and tools used by the Ma'inid, an ethnic group living in Ma'inid Special District of Bench Maji Zone, South Nations Nationalities and Peoples Region. Women decorate their arm with silver-made bracelets. Also, they wear beads on their necks.
እጃቸው ላይ አንበር ያርጋሉ ጨሌ ባንገታቸው ላይ ሰርቶ በጣም ይጠቀማሉ በተለይ ለልጃገረድ ደርሳ ያገባቹ ልጅ አንገታቸው ላይ ጨሌ ያድርጋሉ
Men in Ma'inid make frequent use of chaka, a wooden stool-like thing. The men use it as a stool or alternatively as a pillow.
ቁጭልና በዚህ በመቀመጫ ቁጭላል ባለቤቱ ጨሙ ያመጣል ጎርበስ ሲመጡም በዛ በመቀመጫ በእንግዲነት ካሉም አዲስ አመቱ ይሰጥና ይቀመጡበትና ጨሙን ይሰጣ በጋራ አብሮ ይጠጣል
The Ma'inid men often carry the chaka wherever they go. The Ma'inid are also famous for using the mafakia, a natural wooden toothbrush used in Ethiopia.
መፋቂያ በጣም የተለመደ ነው በእኛ ብሔረሰብ አይተን እንደሆነ ጥርስ በጣም ነጭ ነው ጥርሱ በረዶ ነው የማንንም ሰው ጥርስ በረዶ ነው ምክንያቱም በጣም ነው የመፋቂያ ልማድ አለ
Welcome back, you're watching Addis News Hour. The Benshangul Gums and Gambella states have planted tree seedlings joining the third round nationwide Green Legacy campaign initiated by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed to plant 6 billion seedlings throughout the nation this year. Chief of the two states, alongside various senior regional officials, have officially launched planting tree seedlings in the regions that were affected by soil erosions. Kasan Jane presents the story as follows.
The third round Green Legacy seedling initiative under the motto Let's Adorn Ethiopia was launched on last May 19. On this year's initiative, 6 neighboring countries have been included, and some of them have already started receiving seedlings to plant inside their borders. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed is leading a campaign to plant 6 billion trees across the country this year. That is why the Benishangul Gumuz and Gambela states have planted tree seedlings by joining the third round nationwide Green Legacy campaign to promote eco-tourism and combat the effects of climate change. Chief of Benishangul Gumuz Regional State Ashadli Hassan, in the presence of senior regional officials, has visited the preparation of the third round Green Legacy campaign in the state. During the occasion, the president stated that it was planned to plant more than 72 million tree seedlings, and the region has become productive to undertake the tree plantation campaign successfully.
I have tried to prepare tree seedlings in various places in the region. The saplings indicate us they are found in a great growth condition, and therefore, as our region, we have planned to plant more than 72 million tree seedlings. And the preparation is also to give the tree seedlings to other neighboring countries as well.
Meanwhile, the third round of Green Legacy campaign has started in Gambela State. Chief of the state, Umaru Julu, officially launched the tree planting in the presence of senior officials of the state and various stakeholders in Mangashi Warada of Magang zone. In his speech at the time, Umar called on all to do their part to achieve goals of the initiative.
This place is called Mangashi Warada, and we are found here to launch this year's tree seedling campaign officially. According to our region, we have planned to undertake planting more than 6.5 million. So our plan is primarily focusing to plant in the areas where there is soil erosion in many parts of the region.
The Green Legacy project is a national forestation program designed to encourage people to plant more trees and improve forest coverage of the country, thereby show Ethiopia's commitment to green development. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, over 10 billion trees were planted in the first 2 years of the Green Legacy project. Ethiopia has a plan to plant 20 billion trees by 2022.
The interim administration of Tigray and Ministry of Finance have launched Tigray Emergency Recovery Plan following a stakeholder consultation. According to a press statement of Ministry of Finance, a broad stakeholder consultation was held in Mekelle City to review and endorse the Tigray Emergency Recovery Plan with the leadership of the interim administration of Tigray and Ministry of Finance. During the consultation, Tigray Interim Administration Chief Executive Officer Abraham Balai underscored that it is essential to start recovery and rehabilitation efforts early in order to ensure rapid recovery. CEO further urged regional bureaus to take full ownership of the recovery plan and the start implementation. Finance State Minister Yasmin Wahab Ribi pointed out that the plan was prepared with the participation from hundreds of experts from the interim administration of Tigray, federal ministries and technical development partners such as United Nations agencies, USAID, the World Bank and African Development Bank.